Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a match between Cure and Reynor. Here on Thunderbird, the ladder edition, top left-hand corner, it is the Korean Terran player Cure. And in the bottom right, it is the young Reynor. He is Zerg, he is sporting blue. But yeah, he is very, very good and is going to give Cure all he can handle today. Got this from Wardy. The link to his Twitch TV channel is in the description. Please check him out. He has incredible tournaments, and he has for a while. If you don't know who Wardy is, go over there and tell him that Falcon sent ya. All right, so TVZ here, red versus blue. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention, Reynor is Italian. As long as I mention countries of origin here, Reynor is an Italian young lad here, 17 years old. Just absolutely, it's amazing what he's been able to do and how scary he is as a Zerg player at the age of 17. When I was 17, StarCraft had been out for a couple years. I was not good at it. I was maybe the best player in my group of friends, though, which was kind of fun. But then, you know, I went to college and met other people who were way better than I was, and I started doing the ladder, and my eyes were opened. StarCraft is an incredibly hard game, and there's always someone who's better than you at pretty much every day. Somewhere on Earth, someone is better than you are. Even Cyril! There are days when someone is better than Cyril is. Ooh, Reynor's not fully... Okay, he's doing this thing where he progressively saturates the gas. And that third drone's going to go in there too. And then he moves the drone to come up to those minerals. So, yeah, moves that rally. So this means your speed's a little bit later, but really all you need here versus the Reaper is Queens and Slowlings anyway. He's not going to need speed any much sooner then he's going to get it here. So he's just trying to optimize his build, make sure it's good. SCV scouting in from Cure just to make sure this isn't a 12 pool. Just come on in, see the hatchery is done, say that was a hatch first, and then just go home. Or also, alternately, you can try to harass down here. No! Reynor gets a 208 third. And that's something you can do if you delay that gas, is you can go for a 208 third base. Wow! And now he's making drones. He's got a couple. He's got four lings. He's got four lings here. The queens are on their way too. The one at the natural base is sooner. So this is very smart from Cure. He's coming into the main base saying, hey, a queen's not going to pop out here anytime soon. I know where that first queen is going to go, and it's going to go into the natural base. This is good. This is really smart from Cure. Reynor's holding it pretty effectively, though. Oh, that drone wants to transfer down, but there's already a queen down this way. And trying to just defend that creep tumor. Oof. Just getting out in front of there, making sure that the Reaper doesn't kill it. Lings, oh, can't see up there. Whoosh. Kitty a charge. Does get thrown down while the Reaper was up on that high ground. And creep spreading on this way, and Reynor's fine. Reynor didn't lose anything somehow. The creep spread's amazing. He wants to push it out towards third base too, if possible. That tumor is going to live. It's just too far along to where the Reaper can kill it. All right, so Cure on the other side of the map here is definitely working on a third command center at 3:20. He started that thing at 3 minutes. Okay, so he's getting his third base at the same time that Reynor is, which, boy, this is greedy. This is really greedy Terran right now. The Hellions are just getting started, but again, it's Thunderbird. It's a map where long macro games exist. So that third base is going to land. You don't have to worry about this. I really haven't seen Zerg players go mine through here at all. I don't think in any of the games I've ever cast. It does happen. I have watched some stuff in WCS events and whatnot where it does happen, but not all that often. Reynor is scouting with his Speed Overlord, sees the third command center and says, you know what I could probably do? Just a fourth hatch. Just throw down a fourth at this stage of the game. There's nothing that's going to kill me anytime soon. There's exactly 2 Hellions on the map. And a couple Marines. Yeah, 1 Hellion, 2 Marines, a Reaper, and a Viking, which is just not great. Fusion Core coming in too. Ooh, is this a battle cruiser play off of 3 bases? Kinda like it. Kinda like it if it is. We haven't seen much battle cruiser versus Zerg on the channel recently. We did have that really great TVP last week though with Alpaca King. What was his name? Alpaca King and Jeff, but it was Battlecruisers versus Protoss, which was a ton of fun, by the way. You should watch that one. It was a Masters level game, which I know some of you guys don't like to watch because you're like, if it's not professional, I don't care. But Masters games, I just think it's pretty high level stuff. Like almost as high as the pros in some ways, and it's just more creative. We see more creativity out there than we do with the professional stuff sometimes. So If you're sick of kind of seeing the same thing over and over at the pro level, then maybe check out a master game every once in a while. But Cure is going for battle cruisers. He's going for that Yamato cannon upgrade. Creep spread is here. I'm really shocked Reynor hasn't gone for a 4th. He is now, but that's about a minute later than I would expect it to be. I guess he wanted his queen count to be high. He's got spores up. You want to get spores around the 4.5 minute mark here, depending on what your opponents are doing. I mean, clearly, if there wasn't a 3rd base coming in, those spores would have been a little bit faster, but as it stands, they're up in time. They do provide an anchor just to help deal with the battle cruiser that's going to show up here, and maybe it'll be... You're going to jump in it instantly when this guy pops, or he's going to wait for a second one? I don't know. Our Reaper back here. Did I not name the Reaper? Oh gosh, I forgot to name the Reaper. I was so concentrating on other stuff. Where is my brain sometimes? Gone. That's where it is. It's gone. The battlecruiser does jump on into the main base. Ends up getting 0 kills. The queens are fighting. That queen is alive somehow. Oh my... Okay, so that queen is now dead. And that queen is now dead. So 2 queens down, but for a battlecruiser is a fair trade. Did you see that positioning from the queens too? Left side queens, top side queens. That battlecruiser was not getting out. There was where for it to go. Oh, that was so well played by Reynor. I've had a battlecruiser show up, and I've got 5 queens, and I just die. So it helped that he had the additional queens, right? It helped that he had around 10 queens instead of 5. Can't go wrong with more queens in the early stages of the game anyway. Maybe don't go full queens. That's not as ideal. Not something you want to do. Another battlecruiser on the way, which is not a surprise. If you go for the Yamato gun, you kind of want to use it. So making another battlecruiser makes a ton of sense here. Hellions coming on down the right side, killing some tumors, not YOLOing into this mineral line, though. They know they would die. There are too many queens here. Oh, but now he's YOLOing in because the battlecruiser is here. And the queens are fighting against the BC. Yamato kills one of them instantly. The Lings are trying to kill the Hellions. They can't quite do it. Roaches are popping out to try to kill these dudes, but that's not going to work super well either. He's only one of them here. More queens, and the priority has to be the battlecruiser, and they do take it down. Oh, God. Oh, wow, that was a violent explosion. The Hellions are still alive. Cannot believe their luck. Coming on down to the 3rd base. 17 drones have been killed. All the Hellions are going to die, though. I say that, and then they juke around these roaches, which are slow and don't have great range. If I mentioned how much I hate roaches, I hate roaches. But all the Hellions do die. So good control by Reynor. 20 drones were killed in the chaos. It is 79 to 76 workers. Reynor is up, but he was really up there for a second. Overseer scouting around, trying to see what this is. It's definitely mech. We have all the factories right now from Cure. 4th base coming up from Cure here, too. We got Cyclones in the mix. Hellions just kind of YOLOing it again. Good pull of the drones there from Reynor. Reaction time, insanely good. If I have Hellions come into my 4th base, I don't react in nearly that good of time. I just die. My games are shorter than Reynor's are for that reason. Corruptor's on the way. I mean, Reynor is just... He's killing it. Infestation Pit coming in. Does he have a Spire? Is he going to go for those Broodlords? Not really. You don't want to go Broodlords versus this mech style. The Battlecruisers, the Hellions, the Cyclones. It's all just pretty good against Broodlords in general. Yamato down on that Spore. But there's Corruptors out now, so this Battlecruiser is dead too. So, I mean, a couple drones are going to die, but man, killing these battlecruisers is really helping Reynor keep up in this game. If he just lost all those drones and didn't kill those BCs, he'd be in a bad way. But apparently, Cure does not subscribe to the theory of walking your battlecruisers across the map and then sending them home once they're going to die. He just jumps them right in there. Oh, Swarm Host. Infestation Pit is for Swarm Host. Whoa, these guys, the mech corruptors have jets? Since when? Anyway, got more Hellions on in. Is that really 14 more drones down? Wow. I mean, this is a lot of dead drones in the early stages of this match, you guys. 40 drones were killed in the first 10 minutes. 40! There are Into the Void games that I cast where the Zerg doesn't even have 40 workers by the first 9 minutes. Boy, remember how I have that theory about if a Zerg player loses more than 10 or 12 drones or so in the first 10 minutes, they lose the game in a ZVP? It has been disproved. It doesn't happen all the time in ZVP. And it was Reynor who actually overcame it last time when I did see that happen. Because he just drones up like a madman. He's still at 77 workers despite losing 40 already in this game. Swarm host throwing it down and getting back inside the Nidus. Whoa, is he just going to really? Okay, that's a weird place to land, guys. Interesting. Oh, but it's still here. The Nidus is still here. Unload, 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 load, 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 load. And here we go. Is he just going to go after supply depots? Well, that Marine's definitely dead. Boy, I would just go after supply depots here. That's your best target. They die real fast to these locusts. Right side attack. Oh, Cure just losing a entire, small, tiny little race car mech army. This gets obliterated by the Zerg there. Another Nidus Swarm erupts in the same... Wait, somewhere. Probably defensive, if I had to guess what that Nidus is. Oh, it's kind of at the front. All right, fair enough. It's poking here at the 4th base of Cure. So he's got a ton of tanks, which makes this not very race car. This makes it more traditional mech with the number of tanks that we have here. And is he really even making... He's got Thors. He is making a couple Cyclones here, but production says tanks, Hellions, Cyclones, Liberators. I mean, yeah, this is going to be a slow and ponderous mech today. His little jets are weird. What is this skin? I don't know what this skin is. I'm not a big skin guy, as you guys know. Locust getting some free damage. Again, the free units for Zerg really cause people to rage. Going in there with 5 tanks on the ground, not a great idea. Reynor does pull back. He's too smart for that. Viking finishes off a Nidus Worm, which that's got to be something to tell the boys about back at the bar after this battle's over. I killed a Nidus Worm by myself. Nobody else was there. What was the HP when you started shooting at it, Billy Ray? Don't you mind that. It's dead now, and I'm the one who killed it. That's all you got to know. Another... Wait, that's Structures tab. Sorry, back to Production tab. Greater Spire is coming in. So yeah, once it turns into more of traditional mech, Broodlords are better. Not really much of a fast army running around here. Not very race car-y indeed. Nidus Worm erupts this match. So many Niduses. And this Ravager army is going to die, but it's going to take some Terran units with it. Hellions, Blue Flame Hellions, cruising on in, but the stabs are here. So at least kill the Hellbats after they've killed 8 drones. A couple tanks getting wiped out, and then Reynor pulling back again. Locust trying to jump on top of these tanks. And 1 tank down. That's going to do it. Another tank possibly going to die, but not really focusing it, and it doesn't end up going down there. I really feel that's got to be the priority target for Reynor here, is killing these tanks. They're going to be the big problem right now. Thor's maybe a bit of a problem here too, but at the end of the day, if there are some Brood Lords... Oh, this Ling counterattack. It's going to be rough for Cure to handle. Never mind, these Lings are all dead. One of them escaped. And it did pull Cure back. That's big. Pulling Cure back away is something you want to be doing. Nice scan revealing the Nidus, and Liberator going to set up immediately on that thing. Or maybe not even bother. The Cyclones will finish it off, no problem. Another Nidus trying to erupt right this way. Banelings crashing on in. Trying to get these Hellions, and these Hellbats doing pretty good against it. That Thor is down. All that's left here is a tank, a Cyclone, but only about 5 Ravagers here too. Banelings crashing on in. He's unloading the Swarm Host and then getting back on in. That is so good. Out of Reynor here. They're talking about nerfing the speed with which you go into and come out of Swarm Hosts. Or Swarm Hosts. Niduses. Specifically, Swarm Hosts are the concern here, I believe. And the Locusts decide to cut their losses and go after a missile turret, and they do end up getting it here. What the heck is killing drones? Or was killing drones? Ah, yes. This Liberator. Maybe. Nope. Another Liberator, probably? Probably. Alright, so we're at 180 to 178 supply. We are as even Steven as we can be here. Reynor's taking another base down south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases for him, and Cure is landing his 6th base too. So keep it even here. Even Steven. More Swarm Hosts coming into the 3rd this time. Boy, I like how they're going after supply depots. Yeah, that's fair. He's going to supply block Cure. He's trying. Engagement in the middle here, going pretty well for Reynor again. Just killing Thors. The tanks are problematic. Cure's actually not supply blocked after losing 5 supply depots. Hatchery down to 2 Cyclones down south. That's some pretty effective stuff out of those Cyclones. They, of course, are now dead. At least one of them is. Man, there are engagements all over the map right now. Nidus coming up. Army supply is 101 to 114. And Reynor's replacing his 6th base because that's what you got to do here. Also, you probably should expand to this right side. If I had to say what we're going to do here. But, man, these engagements have been small, but they have been mighty. They've been all over the place a little bit. The Vikings are actually landing to try to kill these Ravagers, which is nice. Corrosive Biles do get some damage done on those Vikings. This base looks like it might fall again to the superior Terran forces. Down here to the south, and yeah, that's a cancel. Indeed it is. Another Nidus Swarm erupts up north. Swarm hosts trying to do their thing. But see, the problem here is a lot of the supply is tied up in these swarm hosts for Reynor, and they can't really help much in situations like this, especially when they are on cooldown. So continuing to push on in. More swarm hosts ready to go. Parasitic Bomb on the Vikings, trying to split those off into two separate groups, but there's two separate Parasitic Bombs. That hurts immensely there. Lings, Roaches, Banelings just all over these Thors. Banelings crashing into Cyclones. They don't do bonus damage here, but they do enough damage to where the Roaches can clean up the Cyclones later. And all the Cyclones go down. Reynor does manage to shove that back. All right, 126 to 68 army supply in favor of Reynor right now. He's up. He's up is all I'm trying to say. 23 to 25,000 resources lost. Cure has lost more. Again, Cure not supply blocked despite losing all of those supply depots. He just has so many command centers all over the place. He's building another one because why not at this stage? Roaches, Lings getting on top of these tanks, keeping that tank count low is really nice if you're going for a lot of Roaches and Swarm Hosts and things. Got another group of Swarm Hosts. They're going to try to take down this planetary. Look at them off creep. Very bravely trying to set up here, but oh no! They engaged a little bit too far away from their Nidus Worm. The Nidus Worm is trying to come up here. Can they take down the planetary with the Locust? The answer is I don't think so. No, the repair is too good. The planetary fortress lives. Attack down to the south. Tries to take down this planetary fortress. Crossbows landing all over those SCVs, and that planetary fortress does go down. The Swarm Hosts running for their lives, getting chased by Cyclones and Hellions. Oh, that was such a risk for Reynor. It didn't even really pay off here either. Another command center going to die. Forced to be lifted off. Drones getting massacred here by this army that was just chasing Swarm Hosts a minute ago, but they're pivoting to the new task. Swarm Hosts finally ready to pop again. That 41 seconds was forever for Reynor. They're going to land on that Thor. It looks like they're going to target that guy down. Blue Flame Hellions trying to keep their buddy Thor alive. They can do it just barely, but then Ravagers come in to finish it off. Engagement on the right side. Vikings fighting against these Vipers. This Thor continuing to fight on in here. Already has 9 kills. Hellbats so tanky at this stage of the game. Tankier than you would expect. Engagement of the middle of map causing some major problems there for both players. Nobody's happy about this. Desperate Lings jumping onto these Cyclones to finish them off, and they do. Army supply, once again, 68 to 48 in favor of the Zerg player. He has been ahead in army supply a couple times here in the last couple of minutes. Can he capitalize? He was able to kill the left side base for Cure, but again, he has so many command centers, it doesn't matter. He just replaced it with one of his orbitals and called it good. Reynor has not been able to replace his base in the bottom left here. Actually, hold on. Was that just this one that died? No, it was this one. He tried to have this one and then it died. Or rather, it was murdered. But oh no, there's so many SCVs at this base for Cure. Evacuation. Evacuation now. And he does manage to evacuate. So killing a couple Hellbats is all you're going to get there. We got a Liberator on the right side killing drones. We got an army on the top side trying to sneak in that 12 o'clock position for Cure. And did no SCVs die? I don't think any SCVs died there. Baneling Ling Ravager coming on in, trying to explode all over these SCVs. They run, but the planetary gets sniped. Reynor takes it down. Cure trying to expand to the bottom section of the map here. We got more of a race car army here than we've seen all day. A lot of Cyclones. Got some Hellions in the mix here too. Does Reynor have the composition to handle this? It's been so much just small tech switching throughout the day here today and throughout this match. Banelings exploding all over the place. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Cyclone's doing some work here. Army supply 95 to 93. Cure has somehow up now. He has totally taken advantage of a couple things that have recently happened here. Locusts going after these mules and SCVs. That's really good stuff on these Locusts. They didn't actually run away. A few more SCVs down just because the Locusts aren't quite expired yet. Trying to expand to the bottom here. No, there is Creep Cure. You can't put your command center there. It's not allowed. Servo transformers are on the way from Cure, making so that the units can transform more quickly into their other forms here. This game might very well just get an epic tag. I can't believe how even this is after 19 minutes, after so many bases have died, so many units have died here. Cure is attacking into the top side. Lings and Banelings in that mineral line. So many SCVs have died in the last minute or so here. It's 54 SCVs in the world for Cure. Oh, get back in! Get back in! Oh, they got back in. And the Locust killing a couple Cyclones. Or I guess maybe just the one Cyclone. Whatever. It's free units. Army supply favors Reynor. Oh, never mind. Now Cure's back on top after just making a ton of units here. 18 Lings in production. The upgrades across the board are pretty amazing. We got 3 3s across everything that we've been seeing. It does show up down here from time to time if you want to see exactly what has been researched here. Drones long distance mining of the south do get burned up by those blue flame infernal pre-igniter Hellions. Cure's replaced the top base that he just lost because, again, he has so many command centers he can afford to do that. Lings jumping on top of these Cyclones. You know, Adrenal Gland Cracklings. I mean, that's what makes them Cracklings. But Cracklings are really good against Cyclones, you guys. Like, really good against Cyclones. If your opponent has a ton of Cyclones, Cracklings are the answer. The problem is the Hellions and the Hellbats, especially. Did a ton of Swarm Hosts just die? Or did they get back in to that Nidus? There's only 4 Swarm Hosts right now. Holy crap. Lings jumping on top of the Cyclones. Again, this is not a good place for Cyclones to be. Right side, this Nidus Swarm is going to die before it even erupts. Still can't land a command center down south there. This game is insanity. I don't even know who's going to win it right now. It's so close. It's been so back and forth, up and down in army supply throughout the entire game. Worker count is back up to 73 for Cure. He was down to 50 a minute ago. How did he do that? He just has so many command centers, Falcon, of course. I thought you would be aware of that. You've been talking about it the entire game. Oh, topside base in trouble here. Going after refineries, which seems pretty smart. Slowing down the gas income of Cure is going to be pretty good here. 10 more SCVs go down, but Cure is able to replace those in a heartbeat, it seems like, if he wants to. He's playing this like Zerg. He has so many command centers. Okay, planetary fortresses and orbitals, but you know what I mean. Wait a second. Adrenal Glands wasn't done? Raider's been playing this whole time without Adrenal Glands? Ah, sacrilege. Sacrilege! Lings coming around the backside. Too many Blue Flame Hellions to really pack anybody in there. The Ravagers causing some problems here too. Blinding Cloud going down, not really helping anybody but the Terran at the moment. And Ravagers are pretty much what you want in the situation. Just because the Cyclones don't do bonus damage versus the Ravagers. Lings in the mix too. Now they have Adrenal Glands. Now they are Cracklings. They were just 3-3 regular Lings before. And they were scary enough as it is. But now they have the Adrenal Glands speedy upgrade. Reynor taking a base up north. The remaining Swarm Hosts are hanging out next to that. I'm losing it. I'm losing it here. We're doing good. These two players are playing so well. Army supply, 92 to 75. The Lings are just taking apart the Cyclones right now. Ravagers causing some problems. Corrosive Bile taking out the Liberators. This base is in trouble. We got Locust at the top base. Cure seems to be falling apart a little bit here, you guys. He's losing so many SCVs, and yes, he's able to replace them, but in the short term, that hurts immensely. This orbital command does get taken down. It has landed. The Lings can actually get rid of it here. 93 to 61 army supply. The Lings attacking on in. And Cure chasing Reynor back down to the south here. Oh, Cure does manage to take the southern base that he's wanted for about the past 10 minutes. Finally, the creep is gone. He can land the command center. He's not doing anything with it, but that's okay. Reynor with just a handful of Zerg units here. Cure doesn't have a huge army either at the moment, but 10 Banelings in production, more Cyclones in production. Just throw down an Abduct. I don't know what that was, but once again, Cure doesn't like what he sees, especially on creep. Nah, the Lings in the north. Wiping out those SCVs. 8 SCVs going down. 42 SCVs remaining to 59 drones. Seems like a problem. Corrosive Bile. Nice dodge on that Cyclone. Nidus Swarm coming up, spreading that creep. With the rich Vespine geysers, which actually Reynor is not bothering with. He is more mineral starved than anything else. He's been making a lot of Zerglings. Understandably so. This is such a stressful game for both of these players, you guys. Ah, no, the SCVs are transferring in. Why would you go here? I guess it's the only place to go at the moment. With so many, 17 more SCVs down. Cure is at 27 workers. It feels like he's just losing it at this stage here. Command center explodes under Corrosive Bile. Orbital command trying to land where there's a Nidus Swarm. You can't do that. Famously, North Base is mining with a couple mules from Cure. His income is still 1,600 minerals per minute, despite all that has happened here today. Lings coming on a full surround on these Cyclones. How many Cyclones will die? At least 3 or 4 of them. Corrosive Biles on the Liberators. They do dodge pretty effectively. 2 of them manage to stay alive. Lings on everything, and Cure taps out. Reynor is your winner in 24 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't even know what we're... what was that game? That's getting an epic tag. That whole thing was non-stop insanity with small skirmishes everywhere. Everywhere on the map. Every base was under attack at some point by Reynor. Every base was under attack at some point by Cure. Engagements on the edge of the creep here. We had Swarm Hosts, Lings, Ravagers, Banelings, Vipers. Never actually made any Broodlords. He was going for Broods. He was morphing some in earlier with those Corruptors and then decided to not go for it because it was more of a transition into the race car mech from Cure at that point. But the reaction time from Reynor to do that was insane. Both players were constantly changing compositions. Back and forth. Okay, more Hellions now, more Cyclones now, more tanks, more Thors. Pull back on the tanks, pull back on the Thors, more Cyclones. Reynor responding with more Lings and more Banelings and more Ravagers, and then getting more Vipers into the mix, depending on what he needed there. Just the on-the-fly adjustments were insanity. Just insanity, that game. 105 drones died. 105 SCVs died. What kind of game was this? Hit that like button, by the way, because that was an incredible match. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, I'm hearing all the complaints. Zerg is overpowered. Look, man, no Infestors in this game. No Broodlords in this game. It was weird stuff like Swarm Hosts and Roaches and 723 Zerglings and 13 Swarm Hosts. I guess complaints about Swarm Hosts are fair. They're looking at nerfing those. But at the end of the day, it was 2 hatcheries down. I'm really shocked that Reynor only ever lost 2 hatcheries. A couple were canceled when they were morphing in. 2 command centers, 2 planetary fortresses, and an orbital command went down. That's too many bases to lose. I know Cure could afford to lose them, but losing them was a big deal. With all the SCVs that went down there, 212 Thors got killed. All 3 battlecruisers died early. Again, I just feel like Cure's method of teleporting in there, right, warping in with battlecruisers and having them die instead of being able to warp them out, I don't really support, but it's not like it killed him in the long run. That was a while ago at the end of the day, but I mean, at the end of the day, the Zerg player army was 3 Vipers, 8 Ravagers, 4 Swarm Hosts, a Corruptor, 5 Roaches, and 48 Lings. That was it. That is not a huge army. I mean, Cure's was definitely smaller, obviously, which is why he tapped out. But the control on display there, the kiting, the surround attempts, just the sniping, the constantly doing Swarm Host stuff from Reynor. I can't believe this kid is capable of this. I can't. He is so good at this game. He's able to take down Cure, who is honestly a terrifyingly good Terran Korean player. And I know it's in a matchup where Zerg is favored. I totally get that. But wow. I'm really expecting big things out of Reynor at BlizzCon at this point. I don't know what else to do. He's an incredible, incredible player. 54,000 resources lost from Reynor, 63,000 resources lost from Cure. Again, 105 SCVs and 105 drones today. Adrenal glands being researched at the 22-minute mark of this game. For some reason, I really think Reynor just forgot, which is amazing. Really. But yeah, 3-3 there. No armor upgrades for Reynor. That's interesting. I wonder, that had to have been intentional. There's no air armor. There's no ground armor. There's nothing for armor here. And then Cure going for 3-3 for his mech. And then Blue Flame. And that was it. It's actually a short list of upgrades for both players today. Interestingly enough. But that was amazing. Seriously, though, check out Wardy, please. Link in the description. Go give him a follow. It doesn't cost you anything to click follow on his channel, okay? He does so much good stuff all the time. He's been doing it for years. He's a pro. Pro's pro. But for me, for Falcon Paladin, that is going to be it today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today, and how could you not? Go ahead, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.